Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And Frank Ntilikina helped lead the charge today as France defeated Team USA. We're going to talk about that. We're going to ask the question, is Frank ready to produce in the NBA? If he is, if he isn't, what's his future with the New York Knicks? So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. About now.
That's the G.
And there we go. I had to make sure I found the right button. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to rock and roll tonight. And look, I got a long drive tomorrow, so this isn't going to be terribly long. It might be kind of short, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? 'Cause I got to drive 7 hours to Connecticut. My daughter has a visit with a school tomorrow. She'll be there for the weekend. She's going to visit with the coach, with the basketball team, and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good stuff. You know what I mean? But tonight, we're going to talk about Frank Ntilikina. It's Frank Ntilikina's night. You got to give it up to him. No matter how you feel about Frank, if you like him, if you don't like him, if you think he's a bust, if you think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, which he's going to be somewhere in between most likely, you got to give it up for him today. He did his thing against Team USA, right? And I, for one, I think it's a really good thing for Frank that he played well today. Today of all days, this game of all games, that he played well. Because what we continued to hear throughout FIBA is that Frank wasn't playing well. He wasn't playing against good enough competition. You know, Jordan wasn't as good as a team that's in the G League, or wasn't as good as a team that's in the Summer League, right? So, yeah, he scored 12 points against Jordan, but so what? Right? Because they're not the same level of competition as an NBA team. Well, he had his chance today, and he took full advantage of it. You got to give him that. You got to give it up to him. He took advantage of it today, playing against Team USA. And I think, honestly, I think Frank had it in his mind. I think Frank was determined to play well so that he can prove people wrong, and maybe even prove to himself that he can compete at this level. And look, he's playing a team that is not your average NBA team. You know, the team that is in the NBA team, the USA team that's in FIBA in the World Cup, it's a very good team, right? You don't get teams in the NBA that's that deep. Now, granted, they only had 2 All-Stars on the team, and they only had 1 All-Star playing tonight or today or this morning. But that's okay. That's all right, because most teams in the NBA don't have that, right? This team would be a very good team in the NBA. This Team USA team would be a very good team in the NBA. And he played well against them. The question, of course, the question of all questions always is going to be, can Frank Ntilikina continue this level of play? Can it relate? Can it translate to the NBA? Right? That's the question. Can it translate to the NBA? And that's always going to be the question. Understandably so, because he hasn't had the start to his career that a lot of people thought he would have or hoped that he would have. You know, so, you know, he has a lot to prove, which is why this game, I think, meant a lot to him and also meant a lot to his confidence and helped him boost his confidence. So big shout out to Frank Ntilikina for that. You know, because you can't say that he didn't help France win this game, because he did. He was definitely a big reason why they won this game. Big reason they won the game. All right, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about his future with the Knicks, and if you think he's now ready to produce in the NBA, you know, I want to know what you think about it. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I'm live, drop a video, or post in my community section. All right, do it now. I know you want to stay updated on the Knicks. You want to know what's going to happen with the New York Knicks. You want to know what's going to happen with Frank Ntilikina. And let me tell you something. We're just a couple of weeks away. Today is September the 11th. We got 19 days, 3 weeks until training camp kicks off. So you're going to want to stay updated because things are going to start happening pretty fast. There's going to be news coming down the pike. You're going to want to know what's going on. So subscribe to the channel right now and ring that notification bell. Do that thing, my man. Do that thing. Do it. Do it. Right now we got Nate in the chat. We got Andy in the chat. Let's see who else is jumping in, man. We got Puff Daddy in the chat. Andrew TV is in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And who else is jumping in here right now? Guillermo is in the chat. So we got a guy, we got some guys that's going to talk and probably have some differing point of views or some same point of views or the same point of views that we've discussed time and time again. We're probably going to hear them again, but that's okay. This is the time to do it because, it's Frank Ntilikina's night. You know what I mean? It's Frank Ntilikina's night. Frank Ntilikina had 11 points, three assists tonight. He scored 7, or not tonight, but this morning. He scored 7 of those 11 points in the fourth quarter. He came through in the fourth quarter. As a matter of fact, he knocked down the 3 that tied the game. And Team USA was never able to recover from that 3. So, take from it what you will. You can feel good about it. And look, and this guy, Mark, comes in here bumping his gums. But anyway, man, let's get to these guys real quick and get their response, get their reactions. I want to know their reactions. Then we're going to answer some questions. And you in the chat, I want you to answer the same questions. And when I say it, I'll shout you out too. All right? So here we go. We got the guys in the chat. Let's get popping. Since Mark came in making noise, let's get to Mark first. Who's Mark? What's popping with you, brother?
Did you see them defensive schemes France ran on USA? Oh, my God.
Hey, they mixed it up. They mixed it up. I like the way that they played some man, they played some zone, a lot of full court pressure. You know what I mean? And that full court pressure bothered Kemba Walker because Frank Ntilikina is long and Frank is able to move his feet so that he could stay in front of Kemba Walker. It bothered. Listen. Frank was very smart. Frank was very smart in the way that he was defending him. You know what I'm saying? And this is what happens when you have a coach that knows and understands how you play and understands what you do. They can put you in positions to be successful. And I think that coach, I think Frank's coach really did help him out today in that aspect, this defensive aspect, putting him in a position, understanding what he can do, right? Because Frank was able to pressure Kemba Walker full court, but give enough space because Frank has enough length, right? So if you're up too tight and you're not using your length, Kemba can go around you. But Frank used his length very well, very well.
But a lot with Frank does, he funnels him into Gobert. They run a lot of defensive schemes, so Gobert could be in the play every time, and Gobert was just terrorizing on the back end while Frank just demoralized the guards at times. It's up and down the issue, but Jesus Christ, I watched it this morning, full game. His IQ defensively, listen, man. I know that France is going to win. I want France to win.
Okay, hold up. 1 second. Okay, Mark, go ahead. Start over.
Oh, I said the way France run their defense, how they use Frank to funnel a lot of the guards or a lot of the players into Gobert, because Gobert was the main factor defensively, and they run a defensive scheme to put him in plays all the time. And Frank is just tremendous with his defense. When I mean just the way he uses his hands, the way the way he funnels the guard into the big man, the way he does that, it's just clockwork every time. And like I said, these foreign players ain't scared of U.S. They ain't. And I tell
Not
you,
anymore.
they're more aggressive. They play way more aggressive. These people,
Let me
these
tell you
people in
something.
FIBA play way more aggressive.
Let me tell you something. That game, I mean, obviously, I've seen NBA games just as aggressive, but when you talk about in comparison
Not like FIBA. They get
hold up. When you talk about in comparison to summer league, right? People and Guillermo, I know you're gonna have something to say about it. It's cool, but people who will really want Frank to play summer league and wasn't respecting. And I'm not saying Guillermo. I'm not saying you weren't respecting FIBA, but there's other people that were not respecting FIBA. The level of play is just no comparison. You could see it in today's game against the USA.
Close.
Of course, this was an elimination game, so the level of play is going to be that much higher. You know what I mean? But the guard play is much more aggressive, even more aggressive than in the NBA as far as defensively. You know what I mean? Guards are allowed to bump you and push you around a little bit in FIBA.
Bro, do you see the skill that they use out on that floor? You don't play like that in Summer League. Summer League is like a one-on-one game. FIBA teaches your skill. And the competition is by far better than the Summer League. So when people compare Summer League to FIBA, it's not close. It's not close. Because the officiating in FIBA, they get away with a lot. Don't you see how hard they hit guys with screens? Don't you see how screens are being set?
Right.
You don't see screens like that in the NBA whatsoever. Yeah. You don't see how when they're running plays, and when they're running the plays, they're not wasting no motion. There's no motion being wasted when they're running plays. It's straight clockwork.
It's definitely a more disciplined style of play.
Are you crazy?
But that in and of itself is part of the issue with Frank Ntilikina being in the NBA, because the NBA is not as disciplined, does not have the same disciplined style of game, and that's part of what Frank Ntilikina has to learn. But you know what? He did very well today and played.
Like I said, the way he fits in the team concept defensively, you have to have that for him, because then he knows where to be, how to funnel the guard into the big man. When you have a perfect big man behind him,
yeah,
that's where his defense you just see it. So when you have a defensive scheme, the way France had this morning,
yeah,
he's just like one of the best. He's a willing defender. That's the thing that you love about him. He's a willing defender, so that is a plus. And I tell you, if he plays like how he plays in FIBA, he's definitely going to have a roster spot, because he creates so much havoc defensively. And guess what? You want to stop your guards. And guess what the NBA is full of? Guards.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, let me get around to people. I don't know if I want to come to Isaiah just yet. Smiling too much. You know what I'm saying? When I see somebody smiling so much with a big, Aunt Jemima cheese, I'm not sure if, I don't know. I'm going to skip over them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna skip over. I'm gonna come to Andrew. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let me get him unmuted.
Thanks for having me on.
Andrew, what's good, bro?
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming on, my man.
Yeah, man. Frank, man, that was a big game. I'm so happy that he showed out today, man. Like, man, all the hate that he's been getting, all the people saying, oh, he should have played in Summer League, or he not good enough, or, D1 college players is better than him. He don't have the skills. He proved he can play. He really proved, man. I've been defending Frank for a long time, been defending him, man. I knew he was, something told me he was going to have a good game. And, excuse me, and he shut down Kemba Walker. He shut him down, man. It was like, wow. To see this, man. Like, I'm so happy he had this game. I hope it translates to this season. You know what I mean? I hope he can finally, if he can knock down those shots the way he knocks it down, when guys close out at him, he attacked the closeout, and this, he got the floated teardrop game going on. He get over to the basket, and he shoot his threes and can play pick and roll. That's all we need for him.
Yeah.
And if you look at the way he plays with Evan Fournier, that looks like, man, I can see Bradley Beal playing with him. If you see how the way those two play together, I can see Bradley Beal fitting with him.
Right.
Or even Devin Booker. I can see it, man.
See,
But
it's just I think the big difference is, at least between the Knicks, maybe not other teams in the NBA, at least between the Knicks and his team in France, is that his team in France, there's a designated system and structure, for him to play out of, and then, start to make his moves in what he does outside of, you start with the system and then he can veer away from it a little bit, but you always know you got something to come back to. So he knows what his role is. I think with the Knicks, he's not quite sure with that yet because it just hasn't been defined. Maybe it's going to change a little bit this year. Maybe that's going to change.
But, when I looked at his rookie season, right, when he had played with Kyle O'Quinn, if you look at the way those two had played, it fit him perfectly because a lot of times they would do like a high dribble handoff. And when you looked at it, that's stuff that he really didn't get a chance to do last season. If he could, go back to that, because that's what something they kind of do with him and Rudy Gobert. That they give Rudy Gobert the ball at the top, and you have Evan Fournier running off the screens, and you have Frank on the other side. He kind of plays off of that. So when Fournier gets the ball, he kind of moves out. If Fournier draws a couple, he dishes out to Frank. If Frank can hit those shots, man, the same way, he's been knocking them down. So if they can do something like that for the Knicks this season, it's going to show how well it's going to show his value.
Well, look, Frank is young. Mitch Robinson is young. We'll see if those two can develop that kind of chemistry. Now, with Rudy Gobert, Frank's been around him for a while. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they're both, they both play for France. So obviously they've been around each other for a while since Frank was young, and stuff like that. And he played for the French national team, and he probably practiced with,
for a while,
France team and stuff like that. So him and Rudy Gobert is going to have a connection, and you can see they have a good, they have a decent little connection.
But I see Frank doing that with Julius Randle. I think them two will be deadly in that kind of system.
That could be,
dribble handoff. I look at that that could be deadly.
I mean, Julius Randle. I mean, anyone who can run the screen and roll, I think Frank could be effective with him. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I wish that we got to see more of was Frank and KP running the screen and roll and screen and pop. We didn't get to see that much. You know what I'm saying? Because both players continuously got hurt. So we didn't get to see it much. That could have been, something that was pretty lethal. We'll see if he can do it with Julius Randle. We'll see if he can get at least a screen and roll going to the basket game together with Mitch Robinson. You know what I mean? And with Mitch Robinson being a shot blocker the way he is, obviously he has to get stronger. But with Mitch Robinson being a shot blocker the way that he is, with Mark, he talks a lot about how Frank funnels guys defensively, funnels guys to Rudy Gobert. That's the same type of defensive system you can do with
the
Knicks and Mitch Robinson. You know what I'm saying? The same type of thing. So we'll we're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna come back to you, Andrew. And Andrew, while you're on here, I got a super chat. I want to shout out Chester. Thank you for the super chat. And he said shout out to you. All right.
All right, thanks, Chester.
And then I also want to shout out Donald Cannon. He said shout out to Andrew TV. He really looks out for you. I guess talking about me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
He said he been on Frank from day one. Keep doing your thing, Sam. Can't wait to start next season. I definitely appreciate that, man. And
cool, man.
We might need to partner on something. We might need to partner on something and do something. You know what I mean? And then Chester again, thank you for the super chat. He said instead of Fizz bringing in Coach Gay, he should bring in Coach Colette. He should bring Coach Colette over from France. Hey, he probably doesn't want to leave France. There's a lot of coaches over there don't want to coach in the NBA because of the politics and the way things go in the NBA. And then Krillin 876 said, "What you think about that number 17 Poirier?" I'm not sure who Poirier is, or unless you're talking about Fournier. What number was Fournier? He's talking about Fournier. Right?
I don't know what number. Maybe it was Fournier he was talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get right back to you, Andrew. See what some of these other guys are talking about before we really start getting to the questions. Isaiah has his hand up too much, so you know what I mean. When people are looking for attention, I usually go past them. Nate, real quick.
What's up? What's up, man? Yeah, I'm not surprised with what I saw from Frank. I mean, if anything, the one thing I hope Fizdale was watching is that he needs to have Frank on those guards. I mean, that is where he is gonna make his hay. I mean, he's 6'7", he's got long arms, he's quick on his feet. He can hang with those guards in the NBA and make it uncomfortable. I mean, you saw it with Kimba. He literally, pressed Kimba the whole game and got him to turn over the ball. We've seen him play against Harden. I mean, he can make it uneasy on these guards. And I mean, if Fizdale has a brain has a brain cell in his head, he needs to play Frank on those positions. He's got to play him against the guards. I mean, that's where he's going to carve his role out. And then like we talked before the show started, he's got to make shots. If he makes shots, that's even an added bonus. But his defense is going to be what's going to keep him on the floor, because like we talked about, they don't have a lot of good on the ball defenders. I mean, maybe Ellington, maybe Frank, and maybe Peyton, and that's about it. Everybody else is either a bad defender or we don't know what kind of defender they are. So, Frank's going to make his hay on defense.
You mean from the guard spot? You mean from the guard spot, on the ball defenders from the guard spot?
Yeah. Well, and the thing about Frank
Dotson, you got Damian Dotson.
Yeah, Damian Dotson. But I mean, but even Frank is like a Swiss Army knife. I mean, he could play the 1, he could play the 2, he could play the 3. He can guard those positions, and it's very valuable to have a guy who can guard multiple positions. And I mean, I hope he continues to play well. Like I said, I'm not surprised, because the thing is, if Frank was a better shooter, we wouldn't be having this debate about him, like when he can play or when he can't play or stuff like that. Because if he was shooting around 42, 41%, I mean, and averaging about maybe 12 points or something like that, people would be off his butt, because there are a lot of worse shooters in the NBA that can't make shots, but they make their hay on defense. So.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna come back around to you, because I got a couple questions I want to ask. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to be on for 17,000 hours tonight. I'm trying not to, because I got a long trip tomorrow, so I'm trying not to. But once you start talking Knicks, man, once you start talking Knicks, all right, Isaiah, Uncle Jemima,
Mr. Russell,
Uncle Jemima, what's good?
Mr. Russell,
Uncle Jemima, what's up?
Oh my God, Uncle Jemima, do you smell that, Mr. Russell? I smell a competition. I'm loving this. Today is the day I get to talk junk and tell everybody that I was right. Frank can play basketball. Frank can do this. I'm excited for Frank. This was a big day for Frank. I loved everything about today. Everything to me, this is what Frank is supposed to do. Is he supposed to play like this? Oh my God. This is to me was a really great. This is a great game for Frank. This boosted his confidence up so much. The people that were criticizing, I'm not attacking Gilmore, because it wasn't just Gilmore who said Frank should be overseas. No, Frank should be in America playing summer league. Man, Frank was right for choosing to play for France. There's nothing Frank. Even if you hate Frank for whatever reason, there's nothing you can deny about his game today. He outscored the USA in the fourth quarter by himself. He shut down Kemba Walker. He played great defense. He hit clutch shots. There's nothing you can say about his game today that you can criticize him on. Right. They beat, whether you consider this U.S. team a good team or not. Listen, he beat the U.S. team.
Well, they'd be a good NBA team.
The team they beat him.
Yeah,
but
I mean, they'd be a good NBA team. We'll say that.
They beat a good NBA team, man. Frank was in there in the last few minutes, playing great ball. And this is what I feel like people have been. And then I love what Frank said after the interview, after the game, that he had a point to prove. He hears all the noise, and I love that. I love that, because I've been saying this kid got the fire, but he just doesn't show it like how we all expect him to do. He's not gonna be a rah-rah kind of guy. That's not how he plays.
It's not what he does. It's not his character.
And I loved it when he said it after the interview. So when he said it, he said, "I hear all the noise. I hear that I had a point to prove. I belong in this league. I loved when he said that. I'm excited. This is what we're talking about today. This is what we're supposed to talk about.
All right.
I'm excited.
All right.
You can move on to the next person. Because we're going to go all night.
Mr. Jemima. All right, Mr. Jemima. I'm going to get to a couple of phone calls. That's what I'm going to do. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping with you?
Yo. Oh, pardon. Let me pause this. Yo.
What's good,
your
brother?
Man played today, yo.
He played some ball today, right?
Yo, Frank, man, I just seen it. I'm a believer because I ain't going to lie. I haven't really been feeling him. I've been 100% with everyone that's been going at him. Yo, he did his thing. I'm 100% convinced right now that it's got to be different squads that go, because what I've seen from him is, yes, he got his confidence, I think, from playing like that and the world seeing it. But at the end of the day, like, he's going to have to get minutes to be able to sustain that, you know? Yeah. So it's like, I think that, because I know DSJ is going to get that time. To me, I'm actually feeling like your man Elfrid Payton should be starting probably, but you know, all that goes to how they playing in the camp and all that. But I mean, I think it got to be different squads. They have enough players where everybody could get time. So I don't know if that's going to be every game. It's probably not going to be every game that they get the time, but it's at least going to be when we're playing different teams where this squad makes more sense that they're going to get in. I mean, I don't want to talk too much, but you understand the point I'm trying to make right here. Like, as far as, like, I think that he needs to run a squad right there. He needs to be that point for a squad. You know, it might be the third squad, but they're going to get minutes in certain games at least. You know what I mean? Okay. And it's going to take that to sustain that confidence that he has and that skill that he has to let it, like, you know, actually grow in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, you know, let me ask you this. So, and I'm going to go around, I'm going to get everybody's opinion. Based on what you've seen so far in FIBA, right? Is Frank finally ready to produce in the NBA? What do you think?
I think yes. I think definitely.
Okay.
But he's going to need that time. Like, he's going to need that, like, this is his, and he's going to have a chance to build it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. And therein lies the problem, because he's definitely got to earn that. You know, he's got to earn that time. He's got some competition there. There's going to be, you know, a battle between him, Dennis Smith Jr., and Elfrid Payton. And as far as most people are concerned, he's last on that totem pole right now. You know what I mean? So he's got to. He's got his work cut out for him. The thing that he does have going for him over Elfrid Payton and Dennis Smith Jr. is his height, his size, and his length. You know, that's something he has going for him, because he'll be able to. Those two guys, basically, I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. can go if you're in a small lineup, or if you have a tall point guard like Frank. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's 6'3", 6'4". He can go to the 2. Elfrid Payton is a 1. I guess he could go off the ball, but he's a point guard. You know what I mean? So that's what Frank has going for him, because he can go to 3 different positions. And
I got a question for you. Like, are you seeing it now? Like, because I'm almost scared to say it, because let's see what happens when Kemba, play them again. But are you ready to say, like, when we got that 8-1 point guard coming against us, put Frank in? Because I'm kind of like, I don't know. I kind of feel that way, but I'm also knowing that Kemba gonna have something to prove when he play Frank again.
Oh yeah, when the Knicks in Boston played opening night, Kemba's gonna have something to prove. He's coming at him. He's gonna love to do that in the Garden too. You know what I'm saying? Right. If Frank is playing, but is he ready to guard those premier guards? I think on certain nights he is. I think it's still going to be sometimes, you know, on and off. He might have, you know, he's going to be good defensively, but I think there still might be some nights where, you know, a coach, because they know what he is now, they know that he's a guy that can play defense. You know, they're going to run those guards off of screens. You know, they're going to do a lot of things, you know, that's going to make Frank have to work a little bit harder to play defense. You know, running guards off of screens, you know, having those guys off the ball, flashing to the ball, you know, creating different kinds ways to get those guys into space. Maybe having Frank isolated, and it's hard to defend anybody in the NBA if you're isolated. You know what I'm saying? Any of these guards that's in the NBA, if you get isolated one-on-one, it could be trouble. I'm not saying that Frank can't guard those guys, but it makes it a little bit harder. It's definitely in his sophomore year, you've seen that there were more schemes against him because coaches knew that he could play defense. So, okay, well, we're going to scheme when Frank is in the game. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to get our guards the ball and run them off of 2 screens or something like that. But he's probably still going to be our best on-ball defender, I think.
That's what I'm saying. And the thing I was just thinking about, how the other day you was talking about, like, this is your offensive lineup, And you were saying the heads for that. I think for sure today, as far as the defensive lineup that we're going to do on just some lockdown mode, he definitely earned that. I mean, today.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Hey, I appreciate your call, man. Great conversation.
You already, man. Keep on doing what you do.
All right, man. Have a good one. Peace.
All right.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of questions about Frank Ntilikina. I don't know if he fully answered all of the questions today. Clearly, he did not answer all of the questions. He still has to do it in the NBA consistently. And that is always going to be, that's going to, until he does it and he proves that he can do it, that's always going to be the question about Frank, right? That's always going to be the question. Can he do it in the NBA? All right, so now I'm going to get to Guillermo because, he tried to call me out in the chat and all that kind of stuff. Oh, you couldn't even get to me. You passed up on me and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get to Guillermo, all right? Because I know Guillermo has some things he wants to say about Frank. Go ahead, Guillermo. It's on you, bro.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Sim?
What's
Isaiah's hating because he thinks, he usually has nothing to say, so he's hating on me for some reason, but I muted him anyway. Yeah, so all I just want to say, man, is like, look, I'm happy that Frank is building up his confidence. There are some caveats. The French team, I think, has a lot more chemistry than his USA team, given that a lot of these guys were the C or B list or C, D list guys they want to put on. So their talent was never going to supersede chemistry, right? So that's why they struggled with, what was it? Was it Australia? No, there were guys that they struggled with, right? So look, I'm happy that Frank is doing this stuff, but again, it has to translate to the NBA, man, because you remember guys like Linus Glazer, Rudy Fernandez, that ball-headed dude on Puerto Rico that crossed over Kobe and used to score like 40 points every game. I can't. Carlos Arroyo.
Carlos Arroyo, yeah. I mean, Carlos Arroyo played decent in the NBA for a little while.
No, he did, but he was never as good as what he showed in FIBA, right? So FIBA, and I'm not hating on FIBA. When people say that, Guillermo said that he should play Summer League, I let me admit one thing. I didn't know how the Summer League schedule exactly works. I didn't know how soon they work, but I wanted him to play both. In my head, I'm thinking, play as much basketball. You're probably not going to play 40 minutes a night, right? Especially on France, whatever. You're not playing 40 minutes a night, but get yourself acclimated. So I'm not issuing on him for not playing. You know what I mean? So I just wanted him to get as much experience because look, you do stuff with France. You know what I mean? Your pick and roll defense, all that stuff, it looks great because you're playing next to Gobert. You're playing with guys that you're familiar with. When you play in a foreign land, in a foreign league, and you dominate, that's more impressive than you going over and playing with guys you're used to. And I'm not saying what he's doing with France is not impressive. I saw it today. When he hit that shot and he did a little, the shot to kind of, I guess, push him even further. It was like 73, 76. I can't remember the score. His defense on
Kemba
Walker, impressive. But again, in the NBA, you're not doing full court press, right? You're not doing things like that. So FIBA is a different game than the NBA. And because I like Frank, if anybody goes back to our earlier streams where I used to praise Frank and get killed for it, I am a Frank fan. I just want to see that translate into the NBA, man. Because he might play a team with the Celtics or play against Kemba, but Kemba's going to be playing, assumably so, playing on a team with a lot more chemistry, a lot better sets, a lot more calm, a lot more resolve than what was on, the USA team, right? Other guys on the freaking team, I can't remember, he's going to be playing against elite level talent. He's going to be playing against guys where, look, you're not going to be able to play full court press. That's just not going to work. Frank is going to have to hit those shots like he did when he literally, drove or came around, what was it? That last final shot, whatever, and kind of hit it, off the dribble, he's gonna have to do that in the NBA consistently. I'm not saying 40%.
So why do you think that Frank can't play, press up full court in the NBA?
That if he can't play full court press in the NBA?
No, you're saying that they're not going to full court press in the NBA. Why do you think Frank? I think he can go for, especially with this team here, and I think maybe it was Nate was alluding to it, or somebody was alluding to it. Maybe it was Rob the Nick. I don't remember. That this team could really play some pressure basketball because they are deep. Right, so
the team, right? You're talking about the team playing full court, right?
Yeah, the team, but having Frank pick up full court.
Oh no! So Frank harassing a guy. He was doing it his rookie year. He can harass guys up court. I forgot what steal he had on. Damn, I can't remember who it was. They used to have it in the Nick highlights. I never said Frank can't harass guys and play full court defense on them. I actually think he gets his energy from, because that rookie year he used to get hyped off of those steals and guys trying to put it behind the back. Look what he did to Kyrie Irving when he played the Celtics. But I'm saying the team as a whole, you're not playing that. You know what I mean? So it's just that full court pressures is not as effective in the NBA, say on a college or the high school level. So I mean, it's just certain things that just won't translate as well. But Frank, the things that I want to translate that you always have to have: confidence, shooting, and command of the defense. When Frank is in the NBA, right? You don't have to literally be Gary Payton, right? Talking trash and screaming on guys to get in position, but you have to have a demanding voice. You have to have it so when y'all go to the huddle, when y'all go to the timeouts, even when y'all break down film, when they say when you can have a guy be like, "Oh, I don't want to do blah blah," and you can break it down like, "Look, I asked you to get in this position because I knew this man was going to be here and there. I asked you to get this blah blah because I knew." And then who's going to argue with it? If he's right, the coach is going to validate him and say, "All right, this kid is actually getting it. He's getting this game on a higher level." Not say he's not getting it now, but he's also getting. He has command. Like he's validated in his beliefs on what he should do on defense. That's the thing with Frank. He has to take command. It's not rah rah rah, but you have to be aggressive. You have to be a leader of men. You got to be able to look Portis in the face. You got to be able to look Mitch in the face and tell him, "Get in this position, do this on offense." Blasey, blasey, blasey. You got to have that commanding voice, and when it's effective, guys are gonna follow you. Look at Rondo. Look at Gary Payton. Look at the top defensive guards of all time. They all had a commanding voice, man.
I think for Frank, and I think this goes for Kevin Knox too. I think that's something that I don't want to say that they have to develop it. I think they probably have it. I think if you had both of those guys on a team with all 19-year-olds or 20-year-olds, right, maybe you would see them that leadership on the court, on the floor, be a little bit different. It takes a person a little bit of time to grow into that. Some people have it, right? Some people automatically have it, and they can just come in and demand the huddle that way. Some people, it takes a little bit of time to for it to grow into it. Listen, I've seen, even in his rookie year, I've seen at times Frank on the court coaching people and telling people where to be, where to go, and what to do. Does he do it all the time? No, right?
But he has to.
But he has to learn how to do that. Now,
he has to.
Just to answer me quick, based on what you've seen so far in FIBA, he's played very well. Do you think he's ready to produce in the NBA? With the Knicks or not the Knicks, do you think he's ready to produce in the NBA?
And the Knicks or the NBA is a big difference.
The NBA. Because a lot of people doubt that he can even play in the NBA. There's a lot of doubt.
I never believed that. I always said that if he went to the Spurs or a team that utilizes talents, off ball movement, with guys moving around when you get the ball. Look how he's playing with France. That's his game. That's the international game. Get him on another team, he could do that. So people who say he can't play in the NBA, again, these are the same guys that say Frank can't play in the NBA before. They watch us now. Now they're getting all giddy and, oh my gosh, Frank is an MVP. Oh, it's like I don't listen to those people because they're not watching the totality of things. So yes, I think he can play in the NBA. Now for the Knicks, playing.
But is he
against DSJ Payton?
But do you think is he ready to produce
for the Knicks?
Yeah. Let's say for the Knicks, is he ready to produce?
If Fizdale doesn't run the same trash that he ran last year, which I doubt he will, then yeah. If you have more movement off ball, if you have guys, you run certain sets, you have guys moving around, setting picks. Yeah, I think he's more than capable. Look what he did his rookie year with KP. That pick and pop was deadly. You showed the video, Sim. Remember you showed the video with him and Mario Hazonia? It was like a little clip you showed.
I wanted to see more of Frank and KP. We never got that chance, but I wanted to see where that could have. Two guys, that played international ball in those type of systems that, that probably could have worked well together at some point in the future. But and maybe it still will if he ends up in Dallas at some point in his career.
Nah, chill. Come on, Sim. But he can do it with Knox. Not guys.
I know. I'm just saying.
Knox played in an off-ball system at Kentucky. Yeah. So Knox could be a poor man's pick and pop, picking. He can do that with guys already on the team. I just don't know why Fizzo has to do it this year. A lot of the owners have to be on Fizzo.
That's part of my point. Rick Carlisle will do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rick Carlisle will set up that kind of a system. You already got Luka there, KP, and if you had someone like Frank there, I mean, those guys would probably know how to play with each other well. You know what I mean? And Rick Carlisle would maximize those talents, I believe. And
before you go on, Sim, can I just ask you one question just on that? So, because I'm still uncertain as to how Fizzo's going to coach, right? Who you think is a veteran that would kind of bolster Frank Ntilikina to kind of have that aggressive role, or to at least bring in those concepts? Because, like I said, it would suck for us to see Frank go to another team and he's doing what he's doing on Team France because they're playing more of ball. So who do you think is that vet that will allow him to be like, hey, to kind of push him and give him that, I guess, the rite of passage, as corny as that sounds.
On this team?
This team. If it's not because Fizzo, I don't think is that type of guy. He hasn't shown it yet. So, is there a veteran?
Maybe Wayne Ellington. Right? Because Wayne Ellington has been a guy who's, he's traveled the league, but he's been in situations where he doesn't play much. You know what I'm saying? And he's worked his way up, like you said, last year, what was 25, 28 minutes a game for the Pistons. So maybe Wayne Ellington is a guy that can, maybe talk to him and be able to show him the ropes on how to get how to earn that time, how to make sure that he's vocal enough and able to be out there and do it. I mean, on this team, Taj Gibson is a power forward. He played with someone like Derek. He played with some guards, some decent guards. I don't know if he played with anybody who plays like Frank Ntilikina, so I don't know where he would be able to offer him much advice in that aspect. But I think Wayne Ellington maybe could do it, help him out a little bit. If the Knicks would have ever brought in someone like a Rondo to work with him, that probably would have been really good.
I want a Rondo so badly, man. Damn.
That probably would have been really good. All right, let me get back to you. Let me get to Viv. Andy, I'm coming to you, man. I'm saving the best for last. Go ahead, Viv.
What's going on, Sim?
What's going on with you, man?
Not much.
All right, so I'm asking you too. Frank Ntilikina, is he ready? Is he finally ready to produce in the NBA?
Well, see, I don't like that question, Sim, because I could really kind of ask that for like everybody, like half the roster of the Knicks, right? Are they ready to produce in the NBA? I mean, has anyone really proved that outside of the free agent signings that they can produce in the NBA? I mean, really speaking,
no.
We could ask the same question for everybody, right?
I mean, I guess you could. I mean,
has anybody proved it?
All right, so has Dennis Smith Jr. proved it, that he can play in the NBA? I mean, I think Dennis Smith Jr. has proved that he can at least, he may not, you don't know if he's going to be a star or not, but I think he's at least proved that he can have a long career in the NBA.
I guess, but I mean, he still has as many questions as as anybody else, right? So I mean, all the question marks for all these players are the same, right? They're not the same questions, but the same number of question marks, right? Dennis Smith Jr. may have 5 question marks. Frank Ntilikina may have like 5 question marks.
Yeah,
Kevin Knox may have like 5 question marks.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't think you would go to anybody. I think you can go to some people and they'll say, yeah, Frank Ntilikina might be out the league. I don't think you can go to anyone and they think that Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be out the league.
I don't know. I mean, there are people that I thought would be in the league, come I thought there would be 10-year players in like 2008.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
and they
I'm
only
just saying-
lasted like 5 years, right? Maybe
Yeah.
they maybe lasted like one contract, maybe two of the max.
I mean, that's happened. I mean, I think Dennis Smith Jr., barring injury, is probably going to be in the league for a little while. I think Frank Ntilikina, I think he's going to be in the league. I think he's definitely going to, find his niche, whether, his offensive game ever really comes in attack, but defensively, he's going to be there, in my opinion. But there are some people that would say, I think this guy's going to end up going back to France. I think there's some people that would say that.
Yeah, but we've heard the same thing with, that's the same type of stuff we've heard about many international players, right? We don't know. They're the biggest wild cards because you never know. They might end up in France. They might end up going overseas. They might, remain in the U.S. I mean, they're the biggest wild cards. Obviously, they're not from here. So, look, the problem with Frank was never like, could he produce consistently? So I think those are like kind of like, I guess, two things, right? Because I think that's like two different degrees of things. Can he play consistently? I don't know. I mean, can he stay healthy season? That'd probably be a more important question, I think, in my opinion. I think a lot of the reasons he wasn't able to produce consistently is because of health last year, and then I guess lack of strength the year before. And I think fixing both of those made a difference in FIBA, in my opinion. So you can kind of see that a healthy Frank that's a little bit stronger, got a little bit stronger between the end of the season to now, is proved to be someone who can be depended on. Now, like I made an analogy on Twitter earlier today, which is kind of funny a little bit after the game ended. But like, if you compared Frank to like, or any of the players to different like toppings or condiments or ingredients or whatever, I guess like the best one I could compare Frank to was garlic. And the reason I said garlic was that, in the grand scheme of things, it never really stands out. Like it doesn't like pop out like other condiments and other ingredients or whatever. But, in the end of the day, right, when you add it into like a dish or whatever recipe you're making, it'll make a difference. And it'll make a difference on multiple recipes. But it doesn't stand out. And it might be just as expensive as, whatever you get from the store for, other items. But, I see that as like a somewhat interesting analogy for his like career. Like he's not going to stand out. Like people want 20 and 8 from Frank, you're not going to get it, right? You're not getting 20 and 8 from Frank. You'll never get 20 and 8 for Frank, and you probably will never see an all-star berth from Frank. That just will not be what he is. But if you want someone that can, be dependent on, versatile and, can do that stuff, then he'll probably be able to do that. It's just, maybe we just got to temper our own expectations.
Okay. So next question that I'm going to get to when I get around to everyone. And you can give it to me quick. Is Frank? What's his future with the Knicks? What do you think his future with the Knicks is?
Position or just like long term?
Long term.
Like, what do you?
Is he going to be on the team, or are they moving him?
So let's say come 2020, it's a toss up. I really don't know. Because I don't know if they're going to pick up the. See, here's the problem, right, Sim? Yeah. It really depends on the option. So if you want to trade him, right, you got to pick up the option. If you don't pick up the option, you can't really trade him. So he may end up on the team, but he may not. It's a toss up to me.
Okay, all right. I mean, it is hard to say. It's very hard to say what's going to happen with his future with the Knicks. All right, let me get to Ernesto. Actually, Ernesto, let me get to a phone call first, then I'm going to come back to you, all right? Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Trade him, right? You got to pick up the...
Hey, what's up, Tim?
Hey, my man, you there?
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm all right, man.
So tell me, what do you think is his future with the New York Knicks or with some other team?
that's a toss-up. I mean, personally, I think Frank is showing you where he's at right now with France, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, they're asking him to come in, and nobody's going to stop a Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving or James Harden. It's impossible. You know, you think you're going to stop them. You're delusional. But Frank goes in there and he disrupts it. If you can stop 2 plays in a row, if you can stop, you're down 3 and you go and stop that offense from going down and make you down 5 or 6, that's perfect. That's what he's for. He goes in, and you're watching him hit big shots and big moments. He's playing down the stretch. I mean, we're overthinking it. I mean, he's in his 3rd year. He's 21 years old, and we're like thinking whether he's going to be, a lot of people, Gary Payton or whatever. He's going to be some all-star. Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to say no. If his shot starts hitting 5 years from now, he's 26, 27? Yeah, maybe. But right now, no. But we should be happy that he's on an international level. It's not preseason. There's a bunch of bums that aren't going to be on G League teams playing. He's playing against guys that are going to be on pro teams next year. And did you see the end of the game? Obviously you saw the end, but that team was like, he was giving that team energy. Everybody on that team walked up to him, dapped him up. He's growling, he's screaming, I just think if we're giving him 18, 20 minutes a game and he's giving you 12 and 5, 8 and 5, but he's shutting down, he's stopping a run for the next team, so you're giving your guys a break. And then when you go on defensive sets, because I read an article. It wasn't an article, it was a podcast actually, and it was with Wayne Ellington. And he was talking about, Fizz was talking about, taking it 94 feet, going down there and then, guarding guys from the throw-in. I mean, it's not about can he do it for 82 minutes. Can he do it for 5 minutes?
All right. So what do you think? Do you think he's going to be on the Knicks by the end of next season? Is he still going to be with the Knicks?
Flip of the coin. I mean, if Dennis Smith Jr. goes out and he's an all-star and Elfrid Payton goes out and if the Knicks are winning and Frank just can't get minutes, yeah, trade him. But if Frank's in there and he's getting 15 minutes and he's getting 8, 3, 5 and 4, he's out there contributing. Yeah, I personally would keep him. Would keep him, but it's a business, so you never know.
Yeah, you never know. All right. Hey,
what do you think, though?
What? I don't know. I'll talk about. I'm thinking. I'm going through it in my brain right now. I'll let you know in a couple minutes because I'm still thinking just like everybody else. Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate the call, bro.
No. Thank you very much, Tim. What's up to the chat?
Peace.
And Viv, you're bugging. Garlic. Garlic. You couldn't think of nothing but garlic.
Viv, garlic. I don't know, Viv. That was one. That was something. All right. Ernesto. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Woke up this morning. The first thing I did, I didn't get to watch the game live. I just caught the recaps and saw a bunch of highlights.
Right.
But I was hoping Frank to do well, and certainly he did. I mean, he played basically consistently to what he's been playing in FIBA. The only difference is he did it against Team USA, and the bulk of his points came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And this game it basically was an NBA playoff game. It had that level of intensity.
It was.
And absolutely it had that level of talent on the floor as well. So, look.
Yeah.
With Frank,
definitely did. Definitely was and definitely did. It was an intense game. The defense was intense. It was defensive. It was a defensive game from the beginning, from the start. You know what I mean? And yes, and you can't beat that experience. Can't beat that experience.
And one thing that's been lacking in Frank's game has been his confidence. And this tournament has boosted his confidence. This game today is going to catapult it to a higher level because, he's doing it against his peers now. And this is what he needs. He needs confidence.
Yeah.
And if you saw the end of the game, when he was chest pumping all his teammates. I mean, Frank was really pumped up. I've never seen him like that. And this is confidence. Yeah. And confidence is everything in life, man. When whatever you do, if you don't have confidence, you're going to stop.
That's right.
So,
that's right. That's why you see some real ugly dudes that have like a real pretty girlfriend. You're like, yo, like, how did that happen? How did that even work? Because he's got a lot of confidence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of confidence. Tell me, by the end of the season, is Frank still a Knick? What do you think?
By the end of the season, Frank is going to be our starting point guard. He's going to be our starting point guard by Christmas. He'll be our starting point guard.
Okay. All right.
And look,
we're gonna hold you to that. We're gonna hold you to that prediction.
Viv was making a comment about his picking up his option. I think picking up his option is a no-brainer. Look, the Knicks are in a situation that we've never been in that I can't remember. We have a lot of young talent on this team, and basically we have to keep on developing this talent because the key to flexibility with the salary cap is to have control of all these players with their bird rights, man. So if we can keep on developing all these young guys and we own their bird rights, we can have James Dolan doesn't care about, how much money he has to spend. If the roster is almost at $250 million, he's gonna pay it. And if we stick and develop all these kids, we're gonna own their bird rights. And that's the key because that'll give us continued flexibility where we can be going over the cap year after year and signing other players and having flexibility.
Right.
So, it's not even a question that the Knicks are going to pick up Frank's option. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. I mean, they have to do it. One, he's still a player that's capable of producing at a high level. There's still potential there, so they still have to tap into that. And it's just a low risk. It's a low risk, high reward. So they have to pick up his option.
Yeah, and see, I don't even know if it's that they pick up his option. Do they give him a qualifying offer or not?
Yeah, that's what it's the same thing. Yeah, give him the qualifying offer and guarantee
it's a little bit different
on a contract.
It's a little bit different because if you give him a qualifying offer, then he becomes a restricted free agent, and then you can match any offer that he gets. If he takes the qualifying offer, right, then that means he can play for a year under that qualifying offer, and then the following year he's an unrestricted free agent. And then if the Knicks decide not to give him a qualifying offer at all, like they did Moutier, they decided not to give Moutier the qualifying offer, not to make the qualifying offer. And then after a certain deadline, he became an unrestricted free agent. So that's the three ways that it can go. It can go like that with Frank. It can go like that with Dennis Smith Jr. The Knicks can decide to give the qualifying offer. Now it's on the player to decide, do I want to take it or do I not want to take it? If they take the qualifying offer, they play for 1 year under that salary, then they can become an unrestricted free agent the following year. If they decline the qualifying offer, then they become a restricted free agent and the Knicks can match any offer that's given to them. And then if the Knicks just do not give a qualifying offer, then they become an unrestricted free agent. So, that's those are the three ways that it can go with Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. Because they're both in the final year of their rookie contracts as far as that's concerned. So, we'll see how that goes. Let me get to Andy. the king of FIBA, Andy. What's up, man?
What's up, Sim?
So,
as you bet, you think I'm happy, right?
Yeah, I know you're happy. You got to be happy, man. You got to be happy.
Yeah, I'm really happy, man. I was thinking that France maybe that USA is going to win the game, but I was still hoping that Frank is going to have a great game. It happened even better than I predicted. So I'm really, really happy about this. And what more? I could go around and repeat the guys, but I don't think it's a necessary thing that Frank. Everybody who saw Frank, and actually we know what he can do. It's just a matter that he repeats it in the NBA.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna ask you: do you think he's gonna be on the Knicks at the end of the season?
Oh, I hope so. like Ernesto said, that I hope they're gonna pick up his option, and they're gonna have the bird rights and stuff like that. So it's depending on the contract situation, but I think it's a no-brainer for them to pick up the option, and so he has at least one more season. If not here, it's probably somewhere else. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna be around the NBA.
All right. Yeah, I think so. He'll definitely be in the NBA. Let me ask you this. I have a question, and I'm going to ask everybody, see what they think. If the Knicks, as currently constructed, without Frank Ntilikina, say Frank Ntilikina was playing for France, if this Knicks team played France with Frank Ntilikina as a starting point guard, who wins?
I think France would win. You know why? Because you see the cohesion there. We still don't know how the Knicks are gonna look now. How Fizz is gonna set up the team, because if you think about it, if he's just gonna throw the guys in, just on the court, like 5-man lineups and stuff like that, without any preseason, pre-camp and stuff like that, it's gonna be a hard thing. You see the camaraderie, the cohesion of the France team, and they pick up each and every guy after they fall down, after they have a bad game. They defend themselves in the press conferences. I don't know if you guys know that, but when Albisi threw that pass to the Colo, that cost them the game. Frank was at the press conference, and he said, "Okay, just don't ask. I'm gonna answer the questions for him because he's still mad and stuff like that." Albisi was really down on himself, and Frank said that he's gonna take all the questions. Just give them to me. I'm gonna answer you the questions. So that shows me also the leadership that he has on the France team. Even though he's a really young guy there, he still has the leadership of the team. And I don't know if he's going to have the leadership of this Knicks team. I think actually not, and that's going to be a minus. But that's also on the players that he's going to play with, not only on him, also if the players going to want to respect him.
Yeah, and that's always going to be a thing. There's players coming, international basketball players, or players coming from not American basketball players, kind of have a different mentality for the game for the most part. Maybe not don't have such aggressive mentalities and characteristics as American players do. And that's just kind of a product of where players grow up and the culture of basketball that's here and stuff like that. So it could be a little bit different. But if Frank comes in and starts to demand it, and Coach Fizz gives him the respect, then the players would respect it as well. That's gonna.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said in the chat. That now the ball is in Fizz's court, man. If he really wants to give Frank a chance, I think it's only on Fizz now. Of course, it's on Frank as well, in the camps and in the training and the practices. But I think if Fizdale, believes in him, it's going to be a great career for him. But if not, well, he probably is going to get traded. Yeah. I hope not, but
I hope not too, man. I'm going to get to a phone call, all right? And then I'm going to come back to the chat and let everybody know I'm going to ask them the same question that I asked you. France versus the New York Knicks. Frank is playing for France. The Knicks have Dennis Smith Jr. and Elfrid Payton who wins, and how well does Frank do? That's the next question. So let those guys know. I'm gonna get to this phone call. Let those guys know. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to this channel and you want to stay updated on the New York Knicks, please subscribe right now. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. Give me a thumbs up. You know, we got 350-something people in here, so it'd be nice if I had 350 thumbs up or likes or whatever you want to call it. And then share it. Please share it out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Just get more people in here talking. All right? I'm going to get to a phone call real quick. I want to know what you guys think in the chat. You know, France versus Knicks. Who wins? Frank is playing for France. Alfred Payton, Dennis Smith Jr. is man in the point guard position for the Knicks. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what's going on, brother?
What's up with you, bro? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm good, man.
Yeah,
Regular
man,
stuff,
we miss you in the
know.
chat. We miss you in the chat.
Yeah, no, I was trying to jump in there earlier, man, but it's all good. But yo, I want to chime in on the Frank joint, like you know what I mean? And yo, Sam, I said this a couple of streams ago. I said it, bro. I said, yo, the man does not have to score 20, 22, 23 to help the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the guy can play and he can actually play defense, but he doesn't. I look at it like this, Sam. If Frank next this coming season, if Frank can give me, let's just say, I want to say I doubt he'll be starting. So let's just say off the bench wise, if Frank can give me 10, 4 assists, and maybe 4 rebounds, I'm gonna be happy with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the kid is learning, and plus we already know he might turn into one of those defensive specialist guys or whatever. And if he can do that, even if he puts in numbers like what Boris Diaw did or whatever the case might be, then you know what? He's an asset to the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they hate on Frank because he's not dropping buckets. Like, you know what I'm saying? The new people, the new school NBA people, if you ain't scoring 20, 25, 30, then you a bum. You know what I'm saying? But with Frank, we already know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already know Frank is not going to be that guy that's going to drop 25 points. Now let's talk about the big shots that he hit today. We've seen him do that in the NBA before. I forget what team it was.
Yep, Indiana. He did it against Indiana.
That we were playing against, but God.
Yeah, he did it versus Indiana in his rookie year.
Yeah. When he hit that big 3 to tie the game or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? So we have already seen him do this, but a lot of people try to dismiss that. They try to act like it's never happened, but that's cool. Whatever is the case. But at the end of the day, we already know, man, like, Frank can contribute to the team. We just got to get off of the fact that, like, he needs to score 17, 18 points. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's support him and what he's going to bring. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if that's only 8 to 10 points and play good defense, let's support that because, number one, we're going to need some people on the team to play good defense, bro.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Let me ask you this, man. France versus the Knicks. Frank is playing for France. Who wins?
France versus the Knicks.
This current Knicks squad. Current Knicks squad.
I think that would be a nail biter, bro. To be honest with you.
You think
with the cohesion that he has with his teammates that he's been playing with, if you're talking about our team right now, and our guys coming in together, it might be a nail biter. I don't know, but it's a game. So then again, you never know. We just our boys just might get on one of those things where everything is falling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, give me Frank's stats in that game. What do you think his stats would be in that game? He's going up against Elfrid Payton and DSJ.
Going against Elfrid Payton and DSJ, I would give Frank starting.
Yeah, he's a starting point guard for France right now in FIBA. So let's say Frank is starting for FIBA. Frank is starting for France. Either Dennis Smith Jr. or Elfrid Payton is starting for the Knicks.
So I would say this, right? Just because he's playing against the Knicks, I would say for that one game, he'll probably average 15 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds.
Okay. All right.
And I ain't even trying to jump through the window. I'm just trying to say his point share just might be up a little bit just because he might have something, like, you know what I mean? He might be trying to prove something.
Yeah. All right.
So he might just be on top of his game. But we've seen him score more than 15 points in the NBA before, so it's not like it's not possible.
Yeah, I mean, rare, very rare, but, hopefully that's going to change, this coming season. But, hey, City, I appreciate you, man. I'm going to try to get a couple more calls in, all right?
Yeah, for sure. You already know, bro.
All right, man. If you can get into the chat, we love to have you in the chat. But if not, you know what I mean, I'll catch you on Monday because I'm not going to be here on Friday.
All right, for sure. You already know.
Peace. That would be an interesting game. France versus Knicks. I would give it to France. You know what I mean? I give it to France because, like Andy was saying, they got a lot more chemistry, camaraderie. They've been together for a while. And they play defense. They play defense. We don't know if this Knicks squad is going to be able to play defense yet. We'll see. So I'm going to come around to you guys, and I just want you to tell me really quick. I'm going to ask you the same question. France versus Knicks. I want to tell me who you think wins that game. I see some people in the chat say that they think the Knicks get it. All right. So I'm going to come around to you. I'm coming to you, Nate, and then I'm going to fly. I'm going to get through everybody real quick. All right. So let's keep it to 15 to 20 seconds. Go ahead, Nate.
France would win because they would lock down our guards and our wings. And, I mean, we have trouble shooting the ball already. So we would play right into France's defense.
Okay. All right. Andrew, France and Knicks, who wins? Andrew, you there? I'm gonna come back to P. Diddy. I don't think he can hear me right now. I'm gonna come back to P. Diddy. All right, I'm gonna come to Isaiah. I'm gonna come back to P. Diddy. Isaiah, can you hear me?
Oh, what's up, Sam? What's up, Sam?
Man? France or Knicks if they played each other?
France. What's
Frank's stats?
If they play the Knicks?
Yeah, we're saying that Frank is playing for France. He's playing against the Knicks. What's their stats? What's Frank's stats?
Frank will probably get you 12, 5, and 5. Great defense. He'll probably lock up Dennis or Payton or RJ, whoever he guards. Gobert is going to have a crazy game. He's going to have I think last year when we played against him, he had
20 seconds is up, bro. 20 seconds is up, so you're not paying attention. Mark, I'm coming to you, bro. 20 seconds, man. France versus Knicks. Who you got?
France and the Knicks. That's what players do to the Knicks.
And what's Frank's stats?
I would say 11 to 13 points with 2 steals, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Okay. Now, all right. Now, see, I'm looking in the chat, and I see some people, right now saying that the Knicks would win. I'm having a hard time believing that you guys think that. I mean, this France team just beat Team USA, who's got a lot of good players on the team, right? If the New York Knicks had the players right now that Team USA has, we'd be talking about Eastern Conference Finals. I can guarantee you That's what we would be talking about as Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? We'd be talking about Eastern Conference Finals. I don't see it because I don't think we have the defense. I don't think we're not good defensively. Offensively, we don't know what we're going to be. France is good
last 4
defensively.
games, he played great.
Say that again. Say it again, Mark.
I said the last 4 games. I said the last 4 games.
Oh, you're breaking up, man. You're breaking up. I don't know what's happening. You're breaking up. I don't see Guillermo there. So I'm gonna come to. I don't know if I asked Ernesto this already or not, but I'm gonna. Did I ask you already? France versus Knicks.
No.
All right, who you got?
Nah, I got Team France.
France, and what's France?
Yeah, I mean, at least Team France, they know what plays they're gonna be running. They have a system already in place.
Okay.
The Knicks don't even know. These guys don't. I mean, they haven't even basically played together yet. So I'm gonna have to go with France.
All right, and what's Frank's stats in that game? Hypothetically.
I'll say 13 points, 6 assists.
All right. Okay. All right. Guillermo, I'm coming to you, man.
Yeah, what's up, Tim?
What's up? Knicks versus France. Real quick, Knicks versus France and Frank's stats.
I mean, right now, I'd probably say France just because they have better chemistry than the Knicks right now. But I mean, this is a little bit too hypothetical for me to come up with.
It's hypothetical, but I'm doing it for a reason.
All right, if Frank had a great game or something like that, I'd give Frank 13 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds and 2 steals. That'd be like a glory be to God type of Frank game.
So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
This France team, as currently constructed,
right?
If they were in the NBA, would they make the playoffs?
But they have Fournier, Gobert, Frank. Who else? Batum, not it.
They got Nicholas Batum. They got Nicholas Batum. They got that. They got they got some decent role players. I think their bench would be the issue in the NBA, right?
Make the playoffs on what, the East or the West?
Well, let's start with the East. Do they make it in the East?
The team last year that came in last place was the Pistons, right? They were the 8th seed. Could they beat the Pistons? No. People sound crazy. Gobert doesn't have a refined offensive game. They've actually tried to push him to score more,
right?
Like to literally take the ball and score more. Defensively, obviously, he's an absolute beast. But then you have Fournier, who's a good point guard, but he's not a world beater. Frank is Frank. Batum is another body. You know what I mean? Again, chemistry amounts for a lot, but in this NBA game, I just don't. Against, and I'm not the biggest fan of Blake Griffin, but Blake Griffin has expanded his game to be a lot more than just a dunker. The guy can shoot threes now a little bit and space the floor, can pass. Do they beat the Pistons? I'm just not sure.
I don't know, man. I think they might beat the Pistons.
Well, I mean, I'm not beat the. Sorry, when I say not beat, I'm just saying beat out. I just don't see
in
it.
the East. I think maybe
the West. They definitely not making the West, but
maybe they don't make it in the West. I think maybe they make it in the East.
Who are your shooters? Who are your shooters on that team?
I have to really go and analyze
exactly.
the team, but,
exactly. Who are you going to for? Who you going to? Okay, better yet. Who you going to for an absolute bucket?
But look, when you talk about, I mean, Fournier was an absolute bucket today.
Yeah, but you guys are again. Let's
but he's
get
done
off
it in the NBA too. Come on now.
I'm not getting on Fournier.
He was killing for Orlando and had Orlando at the end of the season playing good basketball.
This is guys, Sim, please don't cut me off. This is FIBA. Guys, let's chill out.
But you're gonna say that Fournier wasn't. Fournier doesn't play well, and he can't score. In
I didn't
NBA?
say Fournier doesn't play well, but when you're talking about the top 15 point guards, you're not looking at Fournier.
He's not even a point guard. He's like shooting guard. I mean, he might not be top 15. He may not be top 15, right?
Wait. Fournier? I thought Fournier was a point guard. Hold on. On the Magic?
Is he
He's
a
a
point
2?
guard?
All right, I take that back. Then. My bad. I thought he was a 1. My bad.
I don't know, man.
Fournier. Wait. We're literally trying to say it now. Fournier is a world beater. Okay, so he's on Orlando,
he's
right?
A world beater.
He's on Orlando. And he's a shooting guard. I take that back. I apologize. 15.1 points, 3.2 rebounds, 3.6 assists. And
right. But you also have Aaron Gordon on that team, right? But if you're playing for a team,
Eric Gordon,
Aaron.
Oh, Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon is on. He plays for Orlando, right?
You have an Aaron Gordon on a French team?
We're talking about Orlando.
Oh. Yeah, no. But I'm not saying Fournier's not a good player. I'm just saying, guys, we are looking at the FIBA team and we're thinking that, oh wow, the FIBA game is totally different from
but we're just asking hypothetically, man. Do they make?
Okay, but I'm telling you, hypothetically, I do not think it's going to happen because yes, the thing about it is that you keep saying hypothetically, but then you keep conflating the NBA and the European game and saying, oh well, blah blah. Fournier, and I'm not taking anything. I don't watch enough Fournier. I actually as a point guard. I take
NBA
that back.
Teams that play the European,
but I don't hear Fournier is not a top.
But NBA
not a top shooting guard,
NBA teams that play a European game seem to do well. Isn't that what you said earlier? Like Frank could fit with a team that plays a European style of game like the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, but San Antonio, first of all, San Antonio for years also had superlative players, and they have top-notch coaching. In the NBA, like, look at this. The Spurs take aspects from the European game that work. But you know who also takes aspects from the European game and still hasn't won anything? The Rockets with D'Antoni. So I'm not saying all the European game is going to wipe out the NBA. The aspects of the European game that work well and the aspects of the European game, of the NBA game that work good as well. Like Kawhi Leonard is not a European whatever type player, but he's such a superlative player that can play in any system almost that they were able to win championships or a championship with him. So I'm not saying that the France team couldn't win, but when you're looking at that team, like I'm not shitting on Fournier. I apologize. I don't watch enough of Fournier, but I don't watch enough of Fournier because he doesn't come on radio as like a top shooting guard or a guard or whatever. You know what I mean? So when we look here, like let's get off this FIBA game and stop thinking, oh, yo, they're gonna be like the Pistons. Yeah, we could say the Pistons are whatever in the NBA, right? They're the 8th seed or whatever, right? But I would like to see them play the Pistons. I would love to see what would happen, man. Because you guys are overhyping this France team. Like we get it. Look, we're happy.
I don't think anyone is overhyping the France team. It's just a question: would they be able to make the playoffs in the NBA? Because it goes to if they can make the playoffs in the NBA, if they can make the 8th seed with the team that they have currently constructed, right? Then why can't Frank Ntilikina be a starter for the Knicks? That's where it goes to. That's where it leads to. So I'm speaking in these hypotheticals now to kind of relate. Can this team beat the Knicks if they had Frank? Can this team make the playoffs if they had Frank, if they were in the NBA? And so how can that relate to the Knicks with Frank?
Oh, how that relates to the Knicks with Frank?
You don't understand what I'm saying, do you?
No, but I didn't know that was your original.
I know, because you start going into, let's start hyping up this France team and you not let me get to the point.
But you asked me asked the questions
I don't know
already.
Who's hyping up this France team? I don't know who's hyping it up.
I just feel like today people are just like, not necessarily you, but it's like, oh Frank, they beat Team USA, but it's like these were like Team USA's like C-list stars, man. Like and I'm not getting on them.
That right there makes me mad though.
No, but I'm not taking away from.
Here's why that makes me mad, because I've heard that too. Oh, this is not the Team USA that had LeBron and this and that and this and that. But people were saying, oh well, let's not get too hyped because Frank played well against Jordan, right? They're not as good as a summer league team. But now they play a team with all NBA players, probably players that are starters on their team. I'm not even sure everyone, maybe not all starters, but all rotation players. 2 all-stars, right? But now it's being downplayed because they're the C-list NBA,
Tim.
because they're the C-list players.
I'm not taking.
Now it's the C-list players. Come on, man.
I'm not taking anything away from Frank. I've said this time and time again. I'm not taking anything away from Frank. But this is why I keep saying it has to also translate to the NBA because yes, yes, you could talk about Team Jordan, blah blah. Like I've said, I've seen guys on international teams kill. They've even killed higher than what Frank did today. They've killed guys with Kobe, guys with LeBron, and it didn't translate to the NBA. All I'm saying is that the FIBA game is a different animal. And even what Frank played today, you want to know why Frank won?
But you know what?
Because the talent on the NBA team could not supersede the chemistry. There have been Team USA teams where the talent was so overwhelming they could not overwhelm the chemistry on the foreign teams they played.
Look, people keep on saying that these international players, there's so many international players that did this on their foreign teams, didn't do this in the NBA, like almost like knocking it. But there's a million more college players that did this in college and that in college and didn't do crap in the NBA. Did this in the G League and that in the G League and didn't do garbage in the NBA and went overseas and didn't do anything overseas. I mean, a lot depends on the person and what talent they really do have and can they find a niche. It's not just about these international players. I mean, we see college players, we see all kind of players like get to the NBA and can't do anything in the NBA, go overseas and can't do anything overseas, and end up playing for the ABA. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen it all the time. Seen it all the time. Viv.
Yep.
Let's talk about Team USA.
All right.
What's Team USA gonna do? Like, I mean, just look at now. I mean, obviously they're gonna qualify for the Olympics, right? Yep. Are the big dogs gonna come out and play in the Olympics? Or by the time we get to the Olympics, those big dogs may not be the big dogs, right? I mean,
big dogs will come out for the Olympics. I do think they'll come for the Olympics. It's just for FIBA. It's just because they did it a year early. Like normally, I think it was always like 2 years. Like it was like the 2 years before the Olympics. But just the idea of getting people to come for this 2019, if you were going to go to the Olympics and all of a sudden you did FIBA, right? That would basically mean you lost 2 summers to FIBA, to like the FIBA and the Olympics. So, that's the reason why our USA team looks like what it is, right? It's just because, the big dogs, they don't want to kill themselves for like 2 summers straight. So I think the big dogs will come out. I think the US team will I wouldn't say reclaim its status because I mean it never really lost it from the Olympic standpoint, but I think it'll still remain a powerhouse for 2020. I don't see otherwise. I think just this FIBA, this whole thing was just a whole weird situation. But look, it gives other countries the opportunity to shine. But I don't know. I understand the U.S.'s position, and I understand the players' position, right? Especially in the summer free agency, summer of everything that's going on. It's tough, right? I feel for the players.
Yeah. I mean, I believe they're going to come out for the Olympics. That's the Olympics. The Olympics is the Olympics. I feel like it's unfair, though. Maybe it was Tony Crow, someone else, or somebody else who was saying before. It's kind of unfair. You got these guys who dedicated themselves to coming out for FIBA. And yes, you'll have a different team, by the time you get to the Olympics. It'll be totally different. You'll have different guys that are, really on the rise. Hopefully Mitch is on the rise to maybe be, a starting center or a center on the Olympics. So we'll see. Maybe RJ be there. Maybe, who knows? Hopefully we have some guys that's there. But it would be kind of unfair. You got guys that dedicated themselves this summer and then come the Olympics and you got a whole new crew. You know what I mean? Obviously, age is going to have something to do with that. And you'll probably have some guys that, just don't want to play because of age and those things.
Those things will definitely come a factor. But, I mean, you'll see a guy like Curry, right? I mean, if they ask Curry, if you want to play in the Olympics, I mean, unless something unfortunate happens, I can't see why he would say no, right? Or Kyrie, right? I mean, I'm sure some of these players that said no, obviously because of free agency and other reasons. I'm pretty sure that they'll say yes. And yeah, obviously I understand the chemistry part, but I don't remember. See, I always saw the FIBA teams even before this was always like they were never the top flight players, right? They were always like the second rate players. So I think it'll be okay in my opinion. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, and the Olympics are next summer in Tokyo. So
yeah, they're in Tokyo. Yeah.
Next
but obviously, I guess you don't want to rehash the whole question about France and the Knicks, right?
I mean, why did you have something?
No, I wasn't gonna say anything different. I was just gonna say like, all right. I mean, I just think the way the game is structured, like in that moment, I'd pick France. I personally didn't think it was close, or I don't think it would be close. I just think the cohesion and the defense would just prove problematic for the Knicks. But I think that if you'd wanted to think that I don't think France. See, the problem is that if you were to try to translate it, it's hard to translate the team into like the NBA playoff team or NBA like teams because if you look at the France roster, for any of the players that actually tried to come to the U.S., they're either undrafted or they ended up playing as like, I don't know, fourth and fifth string players or, fourth and fifth level players or six men or whatever. So, there's not really any star. And I think that makes it tough for them to even get anywhere in true playoff contention, in my opinion, because I mean, that whole team style can only really get you so far, during an 82 game season. Whereas it'll make a difference. It makes more of a difference in a FIBA tournament that really lasts 2 weeks, right?
I get that. And FIBA is a lot shorter game, right? It's 40. It's 10 minutes.
A lot shorter game, a lot different rules, a lot different pace.
Rules, different game. I think in the East, they could, I'm not saying they would be fourth or fifth seed. I think they could be an eighth seed.
They're getting on my nerves, man.
I mean, I think their calling card, right, Sam? I think the calling card would have to be defense, right? Because I think scoring would be a big problem for the France team. I don't think there's a lot of scoring.
It probably would be. It probably would be. And the bench. I think the scoring in the bench would be an issue.
And I think scoring, bench, and age. I think I believe the France squad, I think generally speaking, is a bit older than a lot of NBA teams. Frank is obviously the youngest French player by quite a few years, at least at the bare minimum. So the key is if they're going to survive an NBA team, they're going to have to be a lot quicker because the speed is going to get you through the entire season, and they're going to have to be able to score because that it's going to be really that's going to be the biggest test.
All right. Well, look, man, it's I got a lot of traveling to do tomorrow. You know what I mean? So, I'm not trying to be on too long, and there's not too much to talk about. Big shout out to City for Real. Alpha Wall, he said, thank you for the super chat. He said, Alpha Wall Street takeover time, fellas, watch. So, my man really believes in Elfrid Payton. I feel him on that. So, I'm getting ready to head off. I do see we got some new guy. We got Aunt G that just joined us in the chat. You know what I mean? He hasn't been here in the chat in like 20 years. Now you want to try to come in and, have something to say. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let you get it off real quick. Man, I'm gonna give you like 45 seconds, and then I'm going around and get everybody's last words. Before I do that, though, I do want to say, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I'm live, drop a video, or post in my community section. I know you want to stay updated with the Knicks, so make sure you subscribe right now. Also, I do want to remind you that we still have this RJ Barrett contest going on until the 23rd of this month. You can win an RJ Barrett rookie card. And all you got to do, you can go to my website to read the rules. And I'm about to put that in the chat. Right? But it's easy. The rules are very easy. All you have to do is something good in your community. That's it. Just want you to help somebody in your community. Come back to the website and tell me what you did, and you'll be entered in a contest to win an RJ Barrett rookie card. I got the rookie cards right here already. The winner's going to get one sent to him. All right, so here you go. I just put it in the chat. You can go to that website right there, click that link, and enter yourself for a chance to win an RJ Barrett rookie card. All right, and subscribe to the channel, please. Thank you. All right, Aunt G, I'm going to let you go ahead and get yours off, man. What's up? What's going on with you, brother? How you been?
What's up, man? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, man. I've been good, man. Y'all making my hair hurt tonight, son. Man.
Why?
But y'all talking about this France beating the Knicks thing. To me, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
We talk about Frank what?
No, France beating the Knicks. I feel like that's absolutely ridiculous.
Why?
Because
you don't even know what this Knicks team is.
First of all, I think a better question is who will win a 7-game series. Because one game, anything can happen, right?
Okay. Second
off, USA didn't have any big men. That was the problem. If Mitchell Robinson was on Team USA, I think that game ends different.
So you saying Mitchell Robinson would outplay Rudy Gobert?
He would neutralize him. I mean, it wouldn't be Harrison Barnes guarding him.
Okay.
I mean, Julius Randle would be the best player on the court, in my opinion. Our bench were a lot deeper than they are. A lot deeper.
I don't know if we have the cohesion or the defense or the smarts.
Yeah.
We'll find out when the season comes. You know what I'm saying? The defense, the cohesion, the smarts, or the coaching. We may not even have the coaching. We don't even know what Fizdale can do.
Yeah, but we got people saying France easily. Like, what? France wouldn't be a good NBA team. If we give all of these teams the same amount of time to prepare and the same amount of time to gel, France wouldn't even be in the discussion. Because if we're talking about their best players, if Evan Fournier is your second best player, you're not a really good NBA team.
Well, you know what? We'll never find out because, they're never going to play in the NBA. We'll see. Maybe one day they'll play some preseason games, but they wouldn't because their players are going to be in the NBA, right? They're going to have four or five players in the NBA, so you would never even really find out. You know what I mean? I think that they would beat the Knicks at least, and I think that they will contend for an 8th seed in the East, not in the West, in the East.
I don't even think Rudy Gobert is that good. I guess. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, though. They'll win maybe 20, 22 games.
I don't know.
They may start off strong because they played together longer, but they would fade out once teams got a chance to game plan for them. And they would fade out.
I mean, maybe they would. I don't know. I think in the East they would contend for an 8th seed. I think they would contend for it. I think their problems would be scoring in their bench. You know what I'm saying? Because I think their bench would be pretty weak. You could see that. You can see that throughout. You can see that throughout FIBA. You know what I'm saying? But we'll never know. But I'm getting ready to head off, man. I don't understand how people get so excited over a hypothetical. I don't know. People get. I don't know what else to say about it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna come around, man. Just give me some last words then, man, because I'm getting ready to head off.
All right, man. We've seen Frank do this before. Frank has had stretches of games where he's played really well. I think what is going to be really telling about Frank is once the season starts and he goes through that first little slump, how he responds. To me, that's going to mean more than, this 4-game stretch. Frank is a nice kid, so it's nice. So I'm always happy to see him succeed and play well, and because he's just a nice kid. So I like seeing him succeed. But this 4-game stretch didn't tell me much about him I didn't already know. I'm more concerned or more eager to see how he responds to some failures and how he bounces back. And does he keep that confidence? To me, that's going to be more telling than what we're seeing now.
All right. All right, and
Man, I'll be back, man.
all right, we're gonna see if you're gonna be back. Ain't seen you in a minute. You come in here and want to have something to say. You know what I mean? Nate, give me some
I
last
think Frank.
words.
Yeah, I think Frank's just got to be Frank. And honestly, I think that Frank is more in the Knicks picture than people give him credit for, because people forget that you've got 3 point guards on this team. DSJ is gonna want to get paid. He just seems like one of those players that's looking to get some money. And I don't know if the Knicks are gonna pony up and pay him that kind of money that he wants. To whereas Frank, I think Frank, you could get more of a team deal where he's not going to demand a lot of money. He's going to be a little bit more easier to negotiate. And so I think that it's almost a no-brainer to pick up the option and make him a restricted free agent. Hopefully he rescinds the qualifying offer and make him a restricted free agent. And then, then the Knicks can dictate what they want to do with him. But yeah, I think I don't see DSJ in the future, because I think that he's going to want to get paid, and the Knicks are not going to want to pay a lot of money to him because they know that it's going to affect 2020. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
All right, Nate.
All right, man.
I won't catch you on Friday, man, because I'm not gonna be here on Friday. I'll be Monday. I'll be back on Monday. We're gonna do the season. We're gonna start our season preview series on Monday, so it should be pretty dope.
Sounds good, man. We'll have a safe trip, and we'll see you Monday.
All right, appreciate it. Peace.
Yeah, bye.
All right, let me see who we got up here. Andy, you wanna give us some last words, man?
Well, yes, Tim. I got 2 things to do. I want to shout out French Knicks podcast. I was on his pod today after the game. I want to shout him out. I'm grateful I could join him. And the show's going to drop tomorrow. We shout it out as well in DK. So it's a good thing. And the other thing, which is really important for me, I hope more guys sign up for the forum so we can, set up a chat maybe for Friday. Since there's no show, maybe you can just jump in the video chat and chop it up a little bit.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. I'm about to put my website.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Plug it in there, and like I said, just drop by the forum, sign up, guys, and we can, set up a couple of things. Maybe, get this thing to 10K really, really fast.
Yeah, man. I'm actually putting a link to the forum in the chat. You know what I mean? We're trying to get this forum really going, guys. You know what I mean? So that, this will allow us to be able to, know, like, what kind of topics do you want to talk about? What kind of events do you guys want to do besides just going to games? We want to try to get more Knicks fans together doing things outside of just the chat and the games and stuff like that. So the forum is a great way to talk. And I want to know where everybody is from, because I'm trying to get ambassadors in different states, North Carolina, Atlanta. I'm the ambassador for DC, Philadelphia, you know what I mean? So that we can have people from those areas get together as well. So check out the
that
forums,
would be cool, man.
Ladies and gentlemen. I just put the link in the chat where you can get to the forum and you can post and talk about the Knicks and all that kind of stuff. So please check it out.
Yeah. Also, we could, make a group chat or stuff like that, so we can chat. Not only on the show, just off topics and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like when you guys sign up to the website, become you can be a free member. You don't have to be a VIP member. You can be a free member. You still get access to a app where you guys can talk through the app. You know what I mean? So you can talk right in the forum through the app. So it's pretty good. So hopefully we can get it built up. Yeah. But all right, are you staying in the chat?
Of course, man.
All right. Let me get to these guys here. Viv, you wanna give us some last words?
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna. If you don't mind, I wanted to plug something. I just a recent project of mine.
Okay,
we just
go ahead.
finished the video. So with my boys, with the duo Terry and Trey, we we have a little series we created called Knicks Throwback, trying to go through some of these old historical moments in Knicks history, and then trying to break it down a little bit, understand the context behind it, all this other fun stuff. So our premiere episode was, we premiered it on Sunday. It was actually the Mellow Easter Sunday special, the 2012 Mellow Easter Sunday game, where he scored 43 against the Bulls. So that was a fun episode that we did, and we got 2 more coming up on the way. Actually, our next one, I don't know when we're still filming it, but it's gonna be about Willis Reed, the whole coming out of the tunnel. So
yeah.
Look forward to that one. The Mellow one's up on YouTube. It's on Terry and Trey's YouTube page.
Okay. All right. Pretty dope. You guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know who Terry and Trey is. And Viv, if you like, you can take and put it in the video chat, in the YouTube chat. People don't know if people haven't been to the page before.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a link through there. It was definitely a fun video to create. Just reminiscing back on that time, just the days where that whole moment where Melo was just like on fire and all this other fun stuff. So we had a lot of fun doing it, and we got a lot more coming up. So just wanted to plug it real quick.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it. Yeah, go ahead and put that in the live chat, man. Yeah, go ahead and put that in there. Andrew,
Hi, what's up, Sim?
What's going on, man? You want to just give us some last words right quick?
About Frank and Team Friends beating the Knicks.
I mean,
what are my thoughts on that?
Anything. Just a couple of last words. I'm getting ready to log off.
Oh man, thanks for having me on the show, man. That's all.
All right,
nothing much.
Appreciate you. Hey, we're gonna link up, man. We're gonna link up.
You can hear me?
We can do something. Yeah, I can hear you. We're gonna link up so we can do something together.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna link up.
All right, bro. All right, thanks for having me.
Ernesto, last words, real quick.
Basically, I want to just thank you, Sim, for having this show and giving us a voice. It does mean, I know it means a lot to all of us, everybody out there in the chat, to give out, support Sim, share the videos, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, let's support Sim. Let's help him grow this channel. And I want all the Frank lovers, just to state what team, everybody on the chat, to state what team you're on, either DSJ or Team Frank. I want to know from everybody out there, man. I want to see them. I want to see the chat blow up right now.
All right, man.
And that's about it.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Like I said, I won't be here Friday, but I'll be back Monday. So I'll catch you on Monday. I still may drop a video or something like that, but I won't be able to jump on live. Isaiah?
I'm excited,
Last
Sim.
words,
Can't wait to I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you when you come out here, man. I'm gonna show you around town, show you around the good spots to eat. I'm gonna cook for the Russells. I'm excited. Yeah, shut up, Guillermo. Shut up. Like and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Frank, man. I can't wait to see him play against Argentina. I want him to continue this until he comes to training camp. I really wholeheartedly think that it's going to be a real great competition in Knicks training camp. And the best man wins. Let's roll the ball out there. Best man wins.
All right. That's what's up.
All right, man.
All right. My man D Public Enemy, Isaiah, every time you come on, D Public Enemy puts chickens up in the live chat. It's funny too. It's funny. But anyway, let me come to Guillermo. Guillermo's mad at me. He got his hand in his head. He's mad at me. He's getting ready to scream on me. What's up? What's up, Guillermo, man?
Sim, that's corny. I'm not gonna scream on you, man.
Man.
This is what Sim does. He takes one thing I say way out of context and cuts me off when I try to respond. Like, bruh, I'm one of the biggest Frank fans on this channel. I'm not ishing on Frank. I'm not ishing on the international game.
Okay.
My point was that if you're trying to take what Frank has done and translate to the NBA, it's tough. And what I said with the so-called C-list players, I'm not taking anything away from him, but I'm saying he'd even play against those players where it's like, all right, maybe if he's playing against Clay and Curry, then it's like, all right, you can maybe take more of that and translate that. But I'm not taking anything away from international players. Petrovic, the guy who played on the Nets, Arvydas Sabonis, who came late to the NBA, Ginobili, a bunch of great international players. The NBA would not be where it is without international players. So I don't want to buy any comments saying, oh, Guillermo's crapping on. That's what happens when you cut somebody off and you take something out of context and spaz out for no reason when I didn't say any of that. I'm just saying, for this chat, I love this channel, but y'all the same guys. When Frank was struggling, not everybody, y'all the same guys who were getting on Frank. I'm not saying you, Sim. So all this energy and love y'all got for Frank, if y'all don't see this translate to the NBA, I want a nuanced response from all you guys to analyze why it's not happening. Is it Fizdale? Is it Frank versus Frank sucks, Frank blah, blah? Because y'all the same guys who go back and forth. And this is one of the reasons why players are hesitant to come to the Knicks, because we have a fan base that's too volatile. We're too all over the place. You score 50 points in one game, oh, you're a god. Oh, you didn't score enough points in this one game. Oh, screw you, I'll kill you. We got to stop doing that as Knicks fans. Calm down.
Well, you know what?
And just chill out. Breathe. It's okay. Frank had a nice game in FIBA and the NBA, but I hope Frank translates this to the NBA. I'm rooting for the kid, man. He's one of my favorite prospects in terms of natural talent. I like the kid, but he has to translate to the NBA. So salute to the chat. Salute to all the people who's in the comments saying Guillermo hates international players. You guys are idiots anyway. I'll say that. You guys are idiots if you think that. Salute to everybody. And Sim, if you want to make me as a villain, that's perfectly fine. What they say in Batman? What they say in Batman? What was the last line that Commissioner Gordon said to his kid when Batman was running away? What did he say?
I don't know. What did he say?
He said, Batman's the hero that we deserve, but he's not the one we need right now. So we'll hunt him. We'll chase him down because he's a silent guardian. He's a dark knight. He said something else before that.
I'm not the villain.
That's what I am right now. I'm the Dark Knight. I'm the hero that Knicks fans. Y'all don't deserve me, but y'all don't need me right now, so it's fine. So I'll take it. I'll take the bruises. All right.
How am I making?
I'm just saying that's one of my favorite movies.
How am I making you the villain?
You make me the villain when you cut me off. Like you literally cut me off, and I'm screaming like, Sim, that's not what I said.
We're going to a new topic.
Sim, you literally say, "Yo, you trying to discredit this?" I'm like, "No, I'm not discrediting the
we
USA
would have went on forever. We would have went on for another 35 minutes.
Sim, that's because you add question and question. You asked me who would win in the NBA game and who would win the playoffs. I gave you my answer. You say, "Oh, but you cut me off." I meant to say what that.
No. You didn't give me an answer. You like went into like a whole.
You know how I know. You know how I know Sim is lying about. You know how I know Sim is lying about all this.
Thesis.
You know why I know why Sim is put on the front? When you meet Sim is a very cool, laid-back guy. But when he has this show now that I'm the villain, no longer is Mark. For some reason, I don't know how Mark got off the hot seat. Now it's me. Now he uses me to prop me up to try to build me, to bring me down. I see. It's okay. I'll take it. You need the yin and the yang, Sim. It's okay. I'll take it, man. It's okay.
Well, I'm still waiting on his Julius Randle stuff. So
I don't know. I trust me. I'm not good at editing, but I have my notes on all the games I watch, and I will try to send you something even before. I think preseason starts in end of September.
Because I was going, I'm trying to do a lot of film breakdown when we do the season preview.
Yes, and I was
series starting next week. I want to do some real film breakdown. So.
And I sent you a text, so I sent you an email. I can't remember asking about software where you can take the film and show like clips and like kind of like write on it or do whatever.
Yeah.
If you could just please send me another email, and I also have to also about copyright and stuff because I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So I'll send you an email.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Peace. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Been a fun show, real fun show. Anytime we talk about Frank Ntilikina, it's always going to be one of these shows. There's just no doubt about it. We talk about Frank Ntilikina. Ain't it crazy? Frank Ntilikina is been on the Knicks for 3 years. He's actually going to be the longest tenured Knick coming into this season. right? He's been on the Knicks 3 years, and the fan base is so split over Frank, and it's such an explosive topic over probably the quietest player on the team. It's a crazy thing. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be here on Friday. If I can do a video or something like that, I'll try to drop a video. If I could do something that premieres and maybe I won't be live, but it'll still be live where people can chat, I'll do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able, if I'll have time to do it. But I'll definitely be back Monday the 16th, where we're going to start our season preview series. And, you know, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday up until preseason begins, we're going to, you know, do a preview of something that has to do with the Knicks. And there we go, man. You guys have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to Monday. And I'm out of here, folks. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.
That's the